So here we're going to demonstrate use of the Snap-on GA3640 dial indicator set. I've seen a few students have trouble in how to set it up, so quick demonstration of how to properly assemble this tool. Inside it has the instructions for the tool. These are posted in the description below in case you do not have your copy. It's a rather nice dial indicator set. Initially it comes with a Snap-on dial indicator that will read in half thousandths increments, which is a little more precise than what we need for most of our suspension and steering work. Maybe engine work would need this precision. So we normally set this aside and swap it out with a much cheaper dial indicator that reads in 1,000th increments, but it proves to be a little easier to read. One of the first things we want to do is remove the magnetic base, and you will notice it has a magnet keeper installed on the bottom. It says to remove this keeper before use, and you reinstall it after use to preserve the magnetism. So we're going to take that off, just pull it off the magnet, leave that in the case so it doesn't get lost, and we'll sit this on our workbench. Ideally, you'll be putting this on a metal surface. You're then going to take the connector that has two holes to it. That should slide over the post of the magnet, and you can then take this rod that is stepped to the larger diameter. That's where our dial indicator will attach, and you slide that into the connector in the smaller end here, and tightening it up should hold that in place. Might have to be pretty tight so it doesn't slide. For the next step, we're going to take our dial indicator, and you'll see this lug on the back of it, and that is where we're going to attach this part. This is the part that trips a lot of people up. We want to unthread this nut and place it right through the lug on our dial indicator. From there, we will put the nut back on. And that is going to allow us to attach it to the post, to the larger stepped up diameter, through that small hole in the connector. And then when we tighten it up, our dial indicator will stay in place. Obviously, you can change orientation to get whatever you need to measure. Just to show you a quick demo, we'll use the lid of the box here. Turn this around, assuming I wanted to measure on the top. I will loosen these, get it placed how I want it, and then tighten everything down. It's very important that when I'm using this to measure, that dial indicator is mounted solid. If any part of it wiggles, it is too loose and will not give you an accurate reading. So we're going to tighten this a little further. And there you can see it's mounted rather solid. You'll notice too up at the top here, this is important. This is called preloading the dial. You want to make sure that you can pull that away and there's movement both directions. That's going to allow you to get an accurate dial indicator reading. And just to turn it for the camera, here you can see what that looks like. And we can measure on there. Now sometimes we will zero this. You do not have to zero the gauge. You can loosen the knob on the side here and turn the face of it. That's up to you. A lot of times we're just measuring a matter of a few thousandths, so you could just even count how many lines it moves or get the high and low number and do the math between them. If you are getting several revolutions, you will want to zero the gauge out. That's how you assemble the Snap-on GA3640 dial indicator set.